What is up, guys? TYSON DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Nancy Pelosi has just been caught in one of the biggest scandals our country has ever seen, and we are going to talk about it. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Just the other day, in the confirmation hearing between Kash Patel and everybody there was a conversation between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump's new FBI director, Kash Patel, asking specifically about Nancy Pelosi's role on J6. And this was made abundantly clear. In fact, it would actually seem as if Nancy Pelosi, as well as other top-ranking Democrats, actually wanted the mayhem to unfold at the Capitol building during J6. Now, we got to hear this directly from Kash Patel about how January 6th, J6, for the YouTube purposes, actually unfolded. And by the way, I don't think the Democrats wanted you to hear and actually see this type of stuff happen.
What were you doing on that day?
On that day specifically, responding to preparing to mobilize and deploy the National Guard once we got the lawful request from the local governing authority, which was the mayor of D.C. and the Speaker of the House.
Kash Patel openly states, on that day specifically, we were responding to and preparing to mobilize and deploy the National Guard once we got lawful requests from local government authorities, which was the mayor of D.C. and the Speaker of the House. Okay. So Trump was ready to deploy the National Guard, but needed the go-ahead from the mayor of the D.C., the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. He was also asked, how many days in advance were you working to prepare the Department of Defense to help secure the Capitol on J6?
How many days in advance were you working to prepare the Department of Defense to help secure the Capitol on January 6th?
Days in advance, Senator, we were in the Oval Office on an unrelated national security matter with the President of the United States, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and myself. And the President authorized up to 20,000 plus National Guardsmen and women to secure any security measures necessary related to the Capitol. So we were moving to the fullest extent of the law before the requisite request came from a local governing authority days ahead of time.
You hear that? So Trump actually did literally everything he needed to do, that they needed to do possible, and that they could do days in advance of J6 to make sure that everything was peaceful and civil.
And while you were Chief of Staff at DOD, how many times did DOD approach Capitol Police and ask if they needed National Guard assistance?
I believe those letters are well documented, numerous instances, and in numerous of those instances, those requests were shut down.
Kash Patel was DOD. How many times did the DOD approach Capitol Police and ask them if they needed National Guard assistance? Kash Patel states, I believe those letters are well documented, numerous instances, and in those numerous of those instances, those requests were shut down. Trump's team even reached out directly to Capitol Police in writing multiple times, days in advance prior to J6, but they were completely shut down every single time.
Now, am I correct that the Capitol Sergeant at Arms said assistance was unnecessary?
That's correct, Senator.
Who did the Sergeant at Arms report to?
The Speaker of the House.
That would have been Nancy Pelosi at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
And would that also be Chuck Schumer, then the Senate Majority Leader?
The Sergeant at Arms, yes, Senator, reports up there.
And there you have it. So Nancy Pelosi was one of the individuals who repeatedly turned down and turned away Trump's National Guard.
Did Mayor Bowser, the Democrat-elected mayor in D.C., either request or allow National Guard assistance?
She put in writing on the days leading up to January 6th a declination for National Guard additional support. And that letter is available publicly to the world.
So just to speak English for folks at home, a declination meant she said no, don't send National Guard. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a simple question, because from the questioning from my Democrat colleagues, they might think otherwise. Do you condemn violence against law enforcement?
All of it.
We also can't mention Nancy Pelosi without Chuck Schumer. He was also in that conversation with Ted Cruz and Kash Patel. Now, we got to look at this leaked footage. This was leaked back in 2023. This leaked footage features Nancy Pelosi's daughter taking J6 as it was unfolding.
Great legal. Sometimes I say 8 months was great, considering that the shaman who did not. I mean, what did the shaman do? He stood there. What did Paul do? He stood there. The shaman got how many months?
Right,
41 compared to 8. So when I saw that, I was like, and I think that the government is going to go for more. That they're going to look to get bigger. Like, people are criticizing some of the people that got home convict. A lot of people have been getting probation and stuff. So I think they're looking to make people, like, I think if Paul went now, he'd get a longer sentence.
What did he do? What did he do?
He just walked in with the Trump flag into the Senate.
That's it.
That's it. And he got. So I don't know if there was an insurrection, you were supposed to be in line. Marching. You're in the military, you know this.
No, that's
you were supposed to have a plan.
Exactly. It's called operations order. You sit down overnight with your soldiers. You go over. All right, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go in by this side. At this time, we're gonna take over this. There's none of that.
If there was an insurrection, it's the sorriest insurrection in the 20th, 21st century ever. No guns. No plan. People taking selfies.
A guy smoking pot.
I love the guy.
Yeah,
right now, we'll just go. For
You're going to be able to laugh about this one day. If I were you, I would drag it out. That's what I would do. My strategy would drag it out because
but my legs are about to fall off.
If you can get that thing off,
right. Well,
then
So you heard it there directly from Nancy Pelosi's daughter. No guns, no plan. People taking selfies and people smoking pot in the Capitol. I mean, she even said that she liked the guy who was smoking weed at the Capitol. Given that all these top Democrats actually allowed and facilitated J6 to happen, then laughed and brushed it off afterwards, why did they spend so many years, 4 years, pushing the insurrection narrative? Now that we know why they did it, their plan was to label Trump as an insurrectionist, then potentially invoke Article 3 of the 14th Amendment to keep Trump from ever running in office again.
Bullshit.
So there we are, just about 2 weeks into Trump's second term. And I pray that all these corrupt politicians that sought to weaponize our political system for their own gain end up and actually being held accountable in some scenario or another. I'd love to know your thoughts about this. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.